How's it going, you guys? AZ Plyo 21 back with another episode of our UFC save, UFC Reborn here in WMMA 5. And today we've got UFC Fight Night Tuivasa versus Aspinall. Now, just today in real life, as I'm recording this, it was just announced that Aspinall is going to be fighting Curtis Blades for the interim heavyweight championship. I like Aspinall, but for whatever reason, I'm a big Curtis Blades fan. So hopefully Razor can get that done over in Manchester. But here we have Tuivasa and Aspinall going at it. The last time that I saw you guys was for UFC 301. Edwards versus Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev is the new champion. Also got Volkanovski defending his crown. And then Islam beating Dustin Poirier. I believe, was that one of those? It was not. We just announced that we're going to be starting up a super lightweight division. And we're going to start having some tournament matches. We're going to have a little Grand Prix to decide the first champion. I believe Dustin and Islam are both in that tournament. But that tournament has not started just yet. The first fight will actually be this one, Michael Chandler and Jalen Turner in the super lightweight division, live from Oregon. That is the main event. That should be a good one. But today we've got Tuivasa and Aspinall going at it. Following this one, we've got Muhammad versus Rakhmonov. Of course, Chandler versus Turner. Ortega versus Emmett in the featherweight division. All leads up to UFC 302, Prohaska versus Derek Lewis. Now, a lot of you guys have been mentioning that, I do apologize, I have a little bit of a sniffle. So you guys were mentioning that I should probably turn on fantasy matchmaking. I'm thinking about it. That's all I'll say right now. The reason I turned up the difficulty, and let's go ahead and check out the settings real quick. Training effectiveness, legal issues rates, AI aggression is very aggressive. Thought I had something turned on. Fantasy matchmaking. This is what you guys want me to turn on. Random incident rate medium. Nearly all the reasons that a fighter can turn down a fight are ignored. This makes matchmaking much easier, albeit unrealistic. So that's what you guys want me to turn on. Just know that I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it because it has been a little bit annoying dealing with people just rejecting fights. Has been a little bit annoying. AI hiring aggression, it's whatever. I've been able to, re-sign just about anybody. So that's not financial difficulty. What would this even do? Fuck. I mean, recuperation lengths, suspension lengths, medical suspensions. That's fine on default. Recuperation. Small local shows. New teams and companies, random incident rates. People can die, right? Yeah, I believe so. Interesting. Death rate low. Cosmetic change. Huh. Smart matchmaking is on. Yeah, I don't know. I am thinking about it. Let's go and take a look at the rankings. As of the last event, nothing in either of the two divisions. Middleweight is fucked up because Jared Cannonier is the champion, but for whatever reason, when we created that super lightweight division, all of a sudden, Robert Whittaker is number 1. So gonna be a little funky for a little bit. So same thing with the welterweight division. Everyone basically just moves up 1 spot or 2 spots. No one in the super lightweight division just yet. I believe that's just because there has not been a fight in the division yet. Lightweight, everybody moves up a bit. Grant Dawson is currently the number 1 contender to this man, Alexander Volkanovski, who was both the featherweight and lightweight champion. Bantamweight, nothing going on. Flyweight, nothing. Featherweight, nothing. Not much going on really with anybody. And I think that's just because I updated the rankings after I decided to open up the super lightweight division. But with that said, let's go ahead and get it going. Tuivasa versus Aspinall. Fight is taking place in British Columbia, so all the Vancouver Canucks fans can watch this heavyweight battle. But first, they watch the flyweights. Alex Perez taking on Asu Almabayev in the flyweight division, and we have Alex Perez, former title challenger, getting the win here today. Marina Morosh taking on Macy Barber, who I believe has had a tough time in this save. Yeah, 2 straight losses. That's no good for my future wife. Not good at all. My future wife has now lost 3 straight fights. That sucks. All right, Marina Morosh, big win for her. Laura Fontoura taking on Si Woo Park in the strawweight division, and it's Fontoura with the unanimous decision victory in her UFC debut. Si Woo Park is now 0-2 in her time here in the UFC. Moving on, John Castaneda taking on Christian Rodriguez at bantamweight. Couple Mexican brothers going at it, and it's Rodriguez with the TKO with only 2 seconds left to go. Hollywood John Sweeney really tatted up there, taking on Mo Miller, the Mo Show. Simpsonville, this guy more than likely trains with Wonder Boy, as it is John Sweeney getting the win, TKO in round number 2. Kickboxer making his UFC debut after a nice little stint in LFA, it looks like. Orion Koski taking on Court McGee, veteran of the Octagon. I remember playing as this dude in UFC Undisputed 3. Goes to show how long he's been around, and Koski knocks him out in round number 2. Khalil Roundtree taking on Anton Turkalj in the 205 division, and we got Turkalj getting the win in round number 1. Fight was rated as being good. Jonata Silva taking on Steve Ursig. This brother just fought for the flyweight championship and made a good account of himself as well. Random as hell. I think like it was only 2 or 3 fights he had in the UFC, and they're like, brother, you're fighting for the title in Brazil. And he's like, okay. Anyways, he loses by unanimous decision to Jonata Silva, who makes his UFC debut and gets a big win. Alexa Culp, may be my future wife if Macy can't get her shit together, takes on Gabriela Fernandez in the flyweight division. And Macy, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Gabriela Fernandez gets the submission victory on Culp here today. Talita Bernardo taking on Haley Cowan in the bantamweight division. Waco, Texas's own Haley Cowan, a big underdog to Bernardo, but an underdog gets the victory. 4.5 minutes into round number 1, she gets the TKO. Lupi Godinez taking on Melissa Martinez in our first main card fight of the afternoon. The ladies going at it, and it is Lupi getting the win and her 10th victory of her career via rear naked choke. Timur Valiev taking on Ricky Simone in the bantamweight division, and we got Simone getting the victory. 9-4 now in the UFC, and he needed that win big. Was on a little bit of a losing streak, but back in the win column now is Ricky Simone. Angela Hill taking on Xiaonan Yan. This chick, Angela Hill, beat Carla Esparza, which was super random, and then it's kind of just like, okay, we kind of have to put you up against Alexa Grasso now. She got 50-45, and now she's here taking on Xiaonan Yan. And Angela Hill gets another decision victory. Wow, okay. Maybe she's turning it on. She's probably only got another year or 2 left, so if she wants to get a title shot, she's going to have to get another 1 or 2 victories. Daniel Rodriguez taking on Albert Einstein Tumanov, and it is Albert getting the victory, TKO in round number 1. This brother is 6-3 in the UFC, and he's on quite the win streak. Only losses being to Ildemar Alcantara, Gunnar Nelson, Leon Edwards. Good for him. Moving right along, as we have Couple of middleweights going at it. Undefeated Sharaputin Magomedov taking on Edmund Shabazian, former Wonder Boy, the Golden Boy, in Shabazian, training with Ronda Rousey and all those guys over at Glendale Fighting Club. Coming off 3 straight wins, Eric Anders, Abdul Razak Al Hassan in the process takes on Magomedov, 1-0 in the UFC against Gerald Meerschaert, trying to get another big win against a ranked opponent, and he cannot. Edmund Shabazian with the decision victory, giving Magomedov the first loss of his career, sending his lazy eye back into orbit. Love to see it. And that brings us to our main event of the evening. It is Bam Bam Tuivasa taking on Tom Aspinall. Of course, Tuivasa, big-time heavyweight, coming off 2 really big wins, Curtis Blades and Marcin Tybura. Maybe 1 or 2 victories away from a title shot, just kind of like how he was in real life. He takes on Tom Aspinall, who lost to Yair Rozenstruik and then got a big win over Stipe Miocic. Not the interim champion here in this save. He's low-level national in America, where he's probably significantly more popular in real life as just a fucking great fighter. And I hope Curtis Blades beats him. But anyways, main event time. Let's get it going. Fighters touch gloves. It is Aspinall that is the favored fighter here today. Both fighters moving in to engage. Tuivasa can't connect. Straight right lands for Tom. Right hand gets taken on the glove. Aspinall with a little teeny tiny kick. Tuivasa also with a little teeny tiny kick. Halfway into round number 1. Not too much popping as we enter the final 2 minutes of our opening round. Appreciate you guys. As always, whether you're watching me on YouTube or Twitch, links are going to be down in the description below. Eye poke. Had an eye poke there. Aspinall hits a left hook. Right hook to the body. Lands for Bam Bam. Aspinall with a nice little right hook. As round 1 comes to a close, they say Aspinall took it. Exchange of strikes doesn't do anything. Tuivasa starting to get gassed in round number 2. You gotta love it. This is the heavyweight division. Quick low kick for Tuivasa. I'm surprised Bam Bam is not just going in guns blazing like he normally does. Aspinall typically gets his finishes in the first round too. Halfway through round number 2. Aspinall also starting to get a little bit gassed. Round number 2. Crazy. This is the heavyweight division. This is peak male athleticism. To be fair though, I'd probably get gassed after about 90 seconds. So fair play to them. Aspinall listens to his corner, acknowledges their instructions, and then ends up missing a jab. Love it. Couple seconds left to go in round number 2. Tuivasa is looking ragged as we end the second round. Love it. We've only got 3 more rounds, boys. Left hook to the ribs. Time runs out on round 2. Aspinall up by 2 rounds. See if someone doesn't just go ballistic, throws caution to the wind here as they're both starting to get gassed. Side of the body, little left hook. Aspinall with a 1-2. Tuivasa with a right hook. Uh-oh. Aspinall's on wobbly legs. Aspinall able to recover. Nearly dropping him there. Cleanly with the right hand. Tuivasa is nearly exhausted, it said. Looks like Tuivasa may win this round. He did get Aspinall a little bit dazed earlier on in this round. Tuivasa ends up backed up against the cage as round 3 comes to a close, and they do give it to Tuivasa. So still anyone's fight, really, as we enter the main event rounds. Both guys putting it on for the Commonwealth. Tuivasa, I'm sure, win or lose, is going to indulge in some alcohol out of a stranger's shoe following the fight. What is Tuivasa even up to? Another cut, it looks like. We had an eye poke and 2 people get cut today. Backed up against the cage is Tuivasa. Round 4 comes to a close. Aspinall might be up 3 rounds to 1. Final round. Tuivasa with a left hook. Left jab and a right hook. Tuivasa currently number 11 in the real-life rankings. And he's on a 4-fight losing streak. Good God. And I mentioned how he beat Tabora here in the save. His last fight was actually a loss to Tabora. Rear naked choke loss to Marcin Tabora. Main event fight. Tom Aspinall, of course, putting the boots to Sergey Pavlovich in Madison Square Garden. As round 5 comes to a close, it looks like Aspinall is going to make his way to a decision victory. That is the end of the fight. They say Aspinall won that round. All 3 judges score the contest 49-46 for your winner by unanimous decision, Tom Aspinall. So the Englishman gets it done over the Australian here today in our main event. Fight rated as being good. Love to see that. Only 727 in attendance in British Columbia. Commercial rating of 85, which is not the greatest, but I believe that is still fine for where we are at. No popularity changes, nothing like that. So let's see who fight of the night is going to. We have great. We have a Shabazian and Magomedov. And then we got Albert Tumanov with a nice little performance bonus. And Christian Rodriguez. Give the brother 50K. Lose about $250,000 there. That's okay. Why is Albert Tumanov making $100,000? Well, for one, I just gave him a 50K bonus. But whatever, you know. Good on him. Get your money, brother. That's going to do it. Appreciate you guys as always. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitch. I'm AZPlow21, and I will see you guys at the fights.